Hey everyone, what if I told you that building $1 million portfolio doesn't take a lottery win or some crazy tech startup idea? Well, today we're going to break down the real world blueprint a totally normal couple used to build over $1.1 million in investments. And it proves that the path to wealth, it's probably a lot simpler than you think.
So let me ask you something. When you hear the word millionaire, what's the first thing that pops into your head? A huge inheritance, right? Or maybe some lucky once-in-a-lifetime stock pick? It's this common idea that you need some kind of lightning-in-a-bottle moment to get there. But what if that's just not true? $1.1 million. That's the number at the heart of our story today. And yeah, the number itself is pretty impressive, but what's really amazing isn't the what, it's the how. I mean, get this. This wasn't done by some Wall Street pros or Silicon Valley tech geniuses. This was built by a regular couple, just getting into their 40s. They didn't start with a big pile of cash. They started with a family and a budget that, as they put it, felt like it was always stretched to the limit. So you gotta be asking, right? How on earth did they do it? When they really buckled down and started this journey, their combined income was $95,000 a year. And listen to this, they were paying up to $25,000 of that just on daycare. In those early years, they said it felt less like building wealth and more like just trying to keep their heads above water. So look at this journey. They started out with about $57,000. 5 years of consistent work tripled that to $168,000. But here's where the magic really kicks in. Look at that acceleration. From $287,000 in 2020 to $1.1 million today. That, my friends, is the power of compounding. It's your money making its own money. It's that classic snowball effect. And it's exactly why a 20% gain on $1 million is a whole different ballgame than a gain on $50,000. So how did they get that snowball rolling in the first place? Well, it all started with their first big lesson. You have to beat lifestyle creep. You know exactly what this is. We've all seen it. Maybe we've even done it. You get a raise, and suddenly that slightly nicer car or that bigger apartment or eating out a few more times a week seems totally reasonable. That's lifestyle creep. Your income goes up, but your savings don't because your spending just expands to fill the new space. It is the #1 killer of building real wealth. So this couple came up with a solution, and it's just brilliantly simple. They made a rule for every single raise they got, 90% of that new money went straight into their investments. The other 10%, that was for them to enjoy, totally guilt-free. By basically pretending that 90% of the raise never even existed, they totally sidestepped lifestyle creep and just supercharged their savings instead. Okay, their second lesson, this one might actually surprise you. The big secret, keep it boring. I know, right? Their strategy was, in their words, aggressively ordinary. And man, did it work. You can really think about investing as taking one of two paths. On one side, you've got the high drama approach, right? Trying to time the market, betting it all on individual hot stocks. It's exciting for sure, but it's also super risky. Their path was the complete opposite. They just consistently invested in low-cost index funds, which is just a fancy way of saying they bought a tiny piece of hundreds of different companies all at once. It's not glamorous, but you know what? It is incredibly effective. And hey, they're in pretty good company. The legendary Warren Buffett himself has said that for most people, the absolute best thing to do is just own a broad market index fund, like one that tracks the S&P 500. So the takeaway here is pretty clear. Boring is very often the most reliable way to get rich. And the data backs this up completely. A huge survey of 10,000 millionaires found that a whopping 75% of them didn't credit their success to some brilliant stock picks. Nope. They credit it to regular, consistent investing over a long, long time. Consistency just beats cleverness, period. All right, their final lesson was all about using the right tools for the job. See, they didn't just save money. They saved it smart by using the financial system to their advantage. So first, they maxed out their 401ks, and they made absolutely sure to get their full employer match. I mean, that's literally free money. You got to take the free money. Next, they funded their Roth IRAs, which means all their withdrawals in retirement will be tax-free. And then they use the health savings account, the HSA. This thing is like a secret weapon because it has a triple tax advantage. The money goes in tax-free, it grows tax-free, and it comes out tax-free for medical stuff. Using these 3 accounts put their wealth building into hyperspeed. So as you can see, it really wasn't just one account. They built this whole comprehensive financial machine. They even added 529 plans for their kids' education and a regular brokerage account for any extra savings. Every single piece of their plan had a specific job to do. Okay, so we've covered the what and the how. But to really, truly get why this worked, we've got to look at the why. And it all comes down to a certain mindset. This is the real secret sauce. Now look, it's fair to say they had some things going for them, like a pretty modest mortgage with a great interest rate. But you know what? Plenty of people have advantages like that, and they don't end up with $1 million portfolio. The real difference maker, the thing that set them apart, was their discipline. It was their choice to keep living on that same tight budget from back when they had those massive daycare bills, even after their paychecks got a lot bigger. So if we were to boil their entire journey down into a simple blueprint that you could actually use, it would be these 3 things. Number 1, automate your savings. Move the money before you can even think about spending it. 2, stay consistent. Keep investing whether the market is up or down. And 3, consciously live below your means. See every raise as a chance to invest, not just a chance to spend. You know, the couple themselves said that with compounding now on their side, the next million should come way faster than the first. The hardest part is almost always just getting that snowball started. So the final question is really for you. What's stopping your own financial snowball from starting its roll down the hill?